Well, hello.
Hi.
Oh, come on.
Oi.
No. Well, hello.
Hi.
Oh, come on. You were doing it before we went live. Okay. Yes.
Hello! Better?
Yes. Yes. Better. Yes. This is a day where I'm hanging out with my children's spawn thingies. Petals and 34. Don't ask me why he's called 34. I really have no clue. But he's 34. Say hello.
Hello.
Yeah,
That's
why are
a
you
very boring one.
Yeah, why are you called 34? Inquiring minds want to know.
Inquiring minds can go shove it.
Oh yeah, that's not very nice.
It's a name. It's my name. Name I gave myself.
Same
I
that
like it
I give
hair.
myself red flower petals.
Yes. Red Flower Petals is an artist. She draws a lot, everything, anything, and mainly ponies.
That's why in my crazy version is called Dr. Art.
Dr. Art. Yeah. She likes creepy stuff. There's that creepy pasta stuff. She likes weird things like that.
Like Five Nights at Freddy's.
Uh-huh.
That's not really creepy. That's more like a heart attack that's just waiting to happen 4 times in a row till you get used to it.
Oh shush. You played it once and you like almost freaked out.
Desensitizing the youth of the world. Wonderful.
I know, right?
Yes. So I'm Charlie, and that's Petals and 34. So anyway,
So how's the
30.
factory, Charlie?
How's the what?
The factory.
The I can't say the Rainbow Factory. The Chocolate Factory.
The chocolate factory. Yeah. I gave it away to the Oompa Loompas.
Why?
Too much chocolate. Yum 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 yum.
What's with you?
Nothing. I'm me, just sitting here drinking some coffee and chatting
Wait,
with.
Charlie drinks coffee.
Charlie drinks coffee. Yes.
Yeah, so long as it has chocolate flavor.
There's no chocolate in my coffee. I'm
Speaking
not
of
that
chocolate,
Charlie, and you guys know that.
speaking of chocolate, I want some.
Yeah, I don't think we have any.
I do. I got it from the school.
Oh, well, you can't have any. It's not a weekend.
Technically it is.
Yeah.
We're here kind of sort of celebrating a bit. Little Miss Flower Petals
Tell me petals.
finished school. She's going to a new school next year. Yay! No more school. Woo! Summer vacation.
I also made a video of a summer update.
Yeah. Yes, on her channel, she's starting to do videos herself. New at it. Be kind, be nice, and enjoy. If you go over there, I'll put the link in the description later.
Not myself. I still have like a friend and
Well,
34.
it's mainly you, but once in a while her friend shows up or 34 helps her out and they do it together.
Even though it was like one video with my friend and one video with my brother, 34.
Yeah. 34 also has a YouTube channel. I'm not sure.
That he's not making more videos on.
No, but he has a really funny one up. It's like a comic strip. Daddy, daddy, daddy. It's freaking funny.
Mommy?
I would share it, but I can't share sound for some reason. My sound output sharing thing does not work. Can't get it to work. Don't know why. So I'll put the video's link in the description too, as long as I don't forget. So I'm talking to my kids while I mindlessly play WoW. Because there's an event. It's the fire event thingy. What's it called?
I don't know.
Well, I'm looking at. Well, I know I need to know.
Hi, someone's here.
Hello!
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
This is our friend Lone Zen Warrior. We have Petals on the line and 34 of my kids.
Hi.
Hello. How's everybody?
Good. I guess.
I'm
Okay.
always freaking out.
What?
Well, I joined because my will was not permitted to leave.
And that's my fault.
Yeah. Petals wanted him to be here.
Yep.
So he has to do big brother duty.
Brother duty when I'm forced by my own mother.
Uh-huh.
No, you got forced by me.
You do not control the internet.
I don't care. I control you.
Anyway, yeah, no, I can't figure out the chat thing, so chat is not turned on the web page on YouTube either. So I
Did you
haven't.
start this in Hangouts or on YouTube?
I started it in Hangouts. I've been told I need to start it in YouTube to get it started, and I tried once and I couldn't figure it out, so I gave up.
Yeah, that was the problem I think I had. Gav told me that when you do it over YouTube, then you can click the box to start the chat. If you don't start it in YouTube, then the chat doesn't work.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
New
know.
information.
Yeah,
Yeah.
new information is always good, right? So yeah, so we were gonna just do a little hangout session, and Petals is starting to do her own YouTube channel with her ponies and her drawings and stuff like that.
I haven't
So
done any drawings on my channel, but at least I've made some videos.
yeah, but you plan on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. See, she plans on it, and stories and skits and all that fun stuff. So just sort of introducing her, and you know,
Cool.
and my son is usually a little more lively and entertaining, so he was dragged in, but he's kind of being um,
The equivalency of a moody teenager that does not want to speak.
yeah, that.
You're not a teenager, though. That's
No,
the
that's why I
sad
said
part.
the equivalency of one.
He's like boycotting the whole idea at the moment. But he has done one video with his sister though.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, on her
Yeah.
channel. So they did one together. They were playing Zelda the Wind Waker, trying to get the crystal for Zombra. So they were mixing. They were mixing.
His name is
Zelda.
Sombra.
You guys were mixing My Little Pony and Zelda, right?
Yeah.
We were. Now the only thing that we were doing was getting the yellow rupee off of the cliff hill part.
Oh, okay. Yeah, video games is a big thing in this family.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Not
My-
always.
My current husband's a computer tech. My ex-husband's a computer tech. So these kids have been surrounded by nothing but computers like all their life, by default. No
So
farm.
did either one of you all inherit the computer bug from your parents?
That really depends on where you think it's from.
He was grounded more times than not when he was younger. He barely actually got time on the computer or video games. I think that made him want him to do it more
Yeah.
instead of less. It's like, go outside, play. Don't make me. So,
I scare the heck out of my kids all the time because I'm always explaining to them that back in the day they used to be able to put subliminal messages into regular film, real movies, back when it was on, rolls of film, not digital. Now they have digital with high definition and how many pixels per inch, and God knows what they're putting into those images nowadays to control people's minds.
yeah, because it goes so fast now.
Uh-huh.
In the subconscious. That's like a lot of the things I do, like when I'm watching something, I'm more actually listening to it.
Yeah.
Well, even listening to it nowadays, some of the videos that we watch, I don't turn on the sound because of the music they put in them. It's like repetitive hypnotic stuff, and I won't listen to it.
So there's a lot of music that I like. I'm not very keen on the lyrics, but I like the beat.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I'll make up my own lyrics and just start singing, and Petals keeps complaining, that's not the right lyrics. Why are you singing it like that?
Because it's annoying for you to say that. It's like, I like the song how it is. You don't have to ruin it.
Well, I don't want to be brainwashed by the message that they're giving on some of the songs. So
So, Petals, to counter that, have you heard of parody songs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like them a bit more than some of the original songs.
I like the Undertale Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
That's my
You know what about
favorite.
the bass cannon?
That's my favorite
Undertale,
parody.
sorry.
Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh, I like Weird Al.
Same here.
Everybody does.
Yeah. Well, I've been watching Weird Al for years and years. When I was married to my ex, we actually had the DVDs and tapes and played them all the time and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I like his tinfoil hat song.
I always liked his Eat It
Eat it.
parody.
Hmm.
Just eat it.
Eat it.
Yeah.
Eat it. Eat it.
When they're all
Just eat
when
it.
he's in the fat suit looking like Michael Jackson, bloated all up.
Yeah. Yeah, Petals was watching that the other day, and I said, "Do you know where that's from?" She's like, "No." So I had to show her. Had to show her all the old-fashioned stuff.
And it was boring.
Everything, unless it's creepy pasta to her or a pony, it's boring. She turns everything. She's gonna turn you into a pony.
I heard. I'm waiting to see.
Hmm.
Lone Zen Warrior is a pony.
I wonder how you'll look like.
You're the one creating it. I hope you know.
Nope.
She's gonna wing it.
That works.
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna find out how to do it, and then I'll do it.
Yeah, it kind of like comes into her mind, and then that's it, and then it just works out.
Yep.
So she'll get inspired. But we've got your colors listed, we've got your strength listed, and we have an idea for your cutie mark, because you need a cutie mark.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't quite have an idea for the cutie mark, but I'm still thinking of it.
Well, it's like your favorite thing to do, what you're good at, what you're special at, and I got the idea of an explorer, so, can't really do a globe with a cowboy hat on it.
No, I can't do that.
But that would have been fun. So,
Another interesting tidbit is I'm a Scorpio.
The Scorpio.
a Scorpio. There we have it. He's a crab. He's
Cancer.
he's a Cancer.
No wonder you're so grumpy.
That's what happens when you have cancer. You get grumpy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the only time I'm going to get grumpy is when I turn to you.
What? Me? Oh, you love me. You got no complaints about me.
Physically.
But I do.
Well, that's because you're still growing. If you didn't have complaints about me, I'd be surprised.
But I do.
What? That I'm wonderful?
That you're crazy.
In a good way.
Yeah.
I'm the good kind of crazy.
Good for you.
Yes. Well, you have to be crazy too, or else Lone Zen won't talk to you. He only talks to the crazy ones.
But I'm not crazy.
I don't talk to sane people or insane people, only crazy people, because only crazy people are in their right mind.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
Crazy's a good thing. Insane's not so much, but crazy's good.
Cute, cute, cute. Yep.
People call me crazy. I tell them, thank you. I appreciate the compliment.
I do that too.
They're like all confused, like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because if their idea of sane is what I think it is, then I would rather be crazy. Because sane people are nuts.
Yeah, so some people say things to me, and to them it's they're not giving me a compliment, but I tell them thank you because a lot of times it's something that they might not realize is actually a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, why, thank you very much, and they're looking at me like, what?
Yeah.
It's like, yes, I'm like this on purpose. I like who I am. I
That's
love.
good.
You do get retribution every once in a while because somebody will come back to you years after the fact and holler at you and say, "Hey, man, remember what you were trying to tell me about? Yeah, I finally saw it.
Hmm.
You weren't lying, man. You were. How did you know? Where did you figure that out?" And then all of a
Uh,
sudden they come back, they got
logic.
1,000 questions.
Logic, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've run into the similar I've run into both. I've run into people saying, "Oh my God, you were right," and thanking me or apologizing to me. It's because some friendships have gotten ruined over certain things through the years, and it didn't fix it, but they came back, apologized, and then they went on their way again because things were too broken, it seemed. And then there were times where I was introducing a few ideas to a friend, and she thought I was crazy out there. She could never do that, this and that, this and that. Okay, then I move here, and about 7 years later, I'm talking to her on Facebook, and she's explaining like word verbatim what I explained to her before, like it was a new idea. And
Yeah.
and she completely forgot that we had talked about this, and she called me crazy, and she's explaining it like I'm about to call her crazy, like trying to explain herself. I'm sitting
Yeah.
there going, yeah, but I told you to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Completely forgot. It was like, all right, whatever. Fun stuff.
Did I tell you about the friend of mine who got committed to an institution?
I don't think so.
A friend of mine, he he used to be a big manager at a manufacturing company that makes AC compressors for like big rigs and trucks. It's a Japanese company he worked for, and while he was there, he had a nervous breakdown because of stuff that was going on in his life. So they ended up moving out here by us, out of Dallas, and I met him, and he came to work for us for a while, and he and I got to be real good friends because we're both about the same age, both life experiences. It was one of those things that was meant to be. Well, then he and his wife and kids ended up moving back closer to Dallas again, and he was having trouble. He was having neck problems in a new job, and he didn't know quite what was going on, so he was having some emotional problems, and they ended up committing him to a mental institution for evaluation because he'd been talking about flat earth and all
Hmm.
kinds of conspiracy stuff that he and I had talked about. Well, he was sitting down with his psychiatrist in the institution, and the psychiatrist finally told him one day after he'd been in for about a week and he was trying to get out, and they were saying, well, you got to do this, you got to do that. Well, he was in a private session with his psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist finally looked at him and he says, look, Shane, I understand what you're saying, and I see it too. The earth is
But
flat. It's real. We get it. But you got to quit talking about it if you want to go home. Because as long as you keep talking about it, you keep sounding like you're crazy. So quit talking about it. Forget you even know it until you get out of here, and then it'll be all right. That's what his psychiatrist actually told him.
yeah.
That he agreed with him. He saw exactly what he was talking about, but told him, don't talk about it, otherwise they're going to keep you in here and you ain't ever going to get home. So
Hmm.
he had to ball it up and suck it up and say, okay, yeah, you're right. No, it's a ball. It's this. It's, and quit talking about it. And they finally turned him loose.
Yeah.
That's why I only talk to crazy people.
Because crazy people know. Petals, on the other hand, she doesn't think it's flat, but she doesn't think it's a ball either. She thinks it's the Matrix.
It's the Matrix.
Yeah.
Well, in a lot of ways, I'd have to agree with you, Petals. I wonder myself.
Yay.
Well, everything that we see is supposed to be a projection of what we believe, of our own beliefs. We create our own reality in a lot of ways. And if you study esoteric and religions and things like that, we create our own world, whether it's happy, sad, or whatever. Um, a lot of the flat earthers, once they see flat earth, then they immediately jump back into the religious bandwagon. You have a lot of atheists that once they see flat earth, all of a sudden start reading their Bible again, and now they become religious because they say, well, obviously there has to be a creator, and
Right.
if there's a creator, then there's a God. Well,
And
that's
then they're
all
good.
fine and well and
They're
good,
latching
but
on to what they used to know or what they've
yeah.
been told. Yeah.
Well, there's good people that build cages for animals to protect the animals, but then there's bad people that build cages to trap animals. So trying to assume that a creator is omnipotent and all loving just out of hand without any actual proof is kind of naive in my opinion. There's a kid on
Have the tales of gods like Zeus and them not.
yeah. Well, when you look at the correlation between all those, all their similarities, it's very interesting how similar most of those myths, as they call them, are so much alike.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
how
for
many
instance,
how many religions talk about the virgin birth and all that stuff? The
yeah.
story of Jesus. There's quite a few religions that have their own, and it's almost the same story just with different names.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like
Well,
what, 7 of them or something?
yeah. Well, in the flat Earth model, some of the old legends or myths claim that at the north center, what would be the North Pole, there's the mountain of Meru,
Hmm.
where the gods sit. The gods sit on top of Mount Meru at the center of the earth, and they kind of control everything. Their image in Genesis that we were created in, supposedly. Well, if you go back and look at the legends of Zeus and all the gods of ancient Greece, and then you look at the myths of Asgard and who am I thinking? Guy that wields the hammer, Thor,
Thor,
right?
yeah.
The ancient
Thor and
Viking legends. They
yep.
live in Asgard that hover, that lives across the Rainbow Bridge on a mountain. It's the same thing as the Greek legends. There's this group of gods that live on top of this mountaintop where they can see the whole earth. And the only place that could be would be a mountain at the very center of the earth, at the North Pole. They all match up.
Man.
There's a young kid I got on, he does YouTube videos. His name is Aster Brooks, Aster. He does some great flat earth videos, and he's a real smart young guy. You kids would probably really like him if you went and watched him. He's, he brought up the fact that you want to blow people's minds, especially those that are already in the flat earth that are following that religious line. You just tell them, hey, this is an alien terrarium that was created by aliens, so now what? It's like, prove it wrong. Well, you could say it's the Bible, you could say it's God, you could say it's that, but we could also say that it's an alien terrarium and we're all part of we're bugs in an ant farm.
Hmm.
You can't prove it wrong, so either one is possible. Who knows?
No one.
Nobody knows.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But that's one of the fun things about life is exploring, trying to figure it out. Everybody's so set on it being what and what they think it is, and usually what they think it is what their parents told them or what they heard when they were a child or indoctrinated with. And there's no proof behind their base beliefs because that's what they were raised to believe. And they hold on to it so tightly without actually looking into it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this before, Charlie, where they're still in those little boxes that they were put in as kids, and they still can't get out of them. They're regressing back to childlike eyes, where they're seeing things all afresh and anew without all the indoctrination, but they're still kind of stuck halfway going back.
Mm-hmm.
They're still stuck in those last few boxes, whether it's religion or politics or whatever it might be.
Well, the known is comfortable, and the unknown is scary to a lot of people. Even if the known is painful,
Yeah.
they still find it more comfortable than trying to find a nicer unknown.
Normalcy bias.
Yeah.
Pain and suffering in this crazy world is normal, so anything outside of that is unacceptable. No matter how bad the world is that they see around them, anything outside of that is too scary, which I never have understood. But
Mm.
hey,
Any thoughts,
Charlie,
kids?
did you hear my live feed yesterday I did about who I am and what I believe?
Oh yeah, yeah, I listened to that. And then you completely disappeared for the day, so
No, okay.
so yeah.
Yeah, you ought to let Petals. You ought to go listen to my latest live feed that I did, because I basically told everybody, as far as I know, there's no curve, and we're not spinning. Beyond that, I have no idea, and I don't know. That's as far as I go.
Okay. How did
Well,
it turn out to be? Hi, we're family. You come in, and then we're talking about flat Earth and stuff like that. How did that turn
joined up.
into that?
He was gonna do a live chat and everybody was sort of busy. I told him we were doing one and told him he can join if he wanted.
Yeah.
I
Well, I'll
hope that's
talk about whatever
okay.
y'all want to talk about. I just happen to be following along.
Hey, Charlie.
Yes.
What would I look good in? The black shirt or white shirt?
You? Both.
Yeah, but I need one of them right now because I'm doing a paint thing.
Oh, okay. I don't know what the character looks like that you're making, but if you're
It's
doing,
like my pony OC, but humanized, sort of.
does it have to be black or white? I think black would look okay. You do a lot of stuff with white. I think you already have white stuff.
Okay.
So what do y'all like to talk about?
Well, currently I'm too delved into politics for the period of time, and that's mainly because of the entire thing that was going on in the United States, all the fraud and vigilance that's being far too well known for the other people to ignore.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
I
Uh-huh.
mean, seriously, think about it. Hillary Clinton being the presumptive nominee.
Well, she's going to be the next president. Don't you know that?
No, she's not.
It seems like she's the one that they've selected.
The issue with selecting a presumptive nominee that way is when you actually decide to step back and take a look at what's going on with her.
No, nobody I know is voting for her. Nobody I know wanted to vote for her. Everybody voted for Bernie. Everybody I know. When it was between them two, it was Bernie. I don't know. I haven't heard anybody that was for Hillary.
Very few people are for Hillary. The entirety of what's happened to California
Why?
was completely fucked. Wanna know why?
Why?
Because the people who are going to stand and be like the voter stand-ins, like, hey, you're gonna, they would give the voters a piece of paper that would evidently be for anybody but Sanders. And in order to get the specific paper slip, you need to ask for a Democratic crossover ballot. And in the book that they were given, it said, do not give a Democratic crossover ballot. Even though it says in the rules themselves, when you actually take a look at the entire text block of words,
34?
it says that you have to give them all the choices.
34. That was done on purpose.
I know.
Okay.
34?
And since people are actually recording themselves,
34?
making note of this, hell, they even went to a judge and explained how much this was basically fraudulence.
34. 34. Petals is trying to speak to you.
Stop
What
panicking.
Petals?
Calm down.
Keep calm and make puns.
There you go.
34. I need your OC.
Tough.
I'm doing something and I'm having you in it.
What's up?
Oh, hey. I just wanted to make sure you weren't still on the phone.
Do, 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 do.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And since you have the entire generation running off of the internet nonsense,
you know we've talked about this, right?
information flows, Mom.
Yeah, I know that.
When someone finds something that is very detrimental, they are going to spread it about. And when more people spread it about, the more it will be known. This will not stop the internet. The internet will find and will use all of the evidence that's been presented to it to fight against what's wrong.
And kill.
Uh-huh.
Essentially killing the current system, yes.
Okay, but this hangout is for us to have fun, not for you to get stressed out. And I know how you get stressed out, so chillax.
Hey, 34.
Yeah.
Check out can you see my video?
Yes, I can.
I gotta hide my real name on here, but
Well, you just put your finger on top of your name.
that's what I'm doing. You see it?
2012 Texas GOP. Huh.
Convention.
Yes.
I was a county delegate for the Republican Party out of my county, and guess who I supported?
Ron Paul.
That's right.
Oh, wonderful man.
I was actually nominated for a national delegate position to go to Tampa to try to stump for Ron Paul, but because I supported Ron Paul, I didn't get the nomination. Everybody who thinks that they vote for their politicians here in the States is delusional. Nobody votes for nothing. They're selected by those committees.
Yeah.
It is so corrupt. After having been there and saw what all happened, there is no election. It is a selection. They choose who they're going to put in there, and no matter how hard you try to be a delegate or try to get involved in the process, the people that have been in there the longest that control it all will shove you aside, and you can't do nothing about it.
Yeah, and all the stuff you see on the news and all that stuff, that's all distraction.
Yeah, it's all a dog and pony show to make people think that they have a choice when they don't. Because when it comes to the president
Back to this.
alone, even if we had gotten all the delegates that we wanted for Ron Paul, it wouldn't have mattered even if we made him the nominee, because the Electoral College is the one that actually votes for the president, not the people. Mm-hmm. So the Electoral College would have chosen whoever they wanted to, no matter what we'd done.
But here's the counter to this. This is the age of the internet.
Yeah.
And because this is the age of the internet, and too many very, very new people who voted for the first time has joined up and see all this, they're digging everywhere and anything that they can find.
Mm-hmm.
And because of this, regardless of what choices that the selection has made, they're not going to get it this time. There's too many.
There's a lot of people waking up. I'm getting an echo.
There's not just a lot of people, Mom. There's too many people who's woken up. That is one thing people seem to not be realizing yet. Too many people has woken up, and they will make a difference.
Well, they will make a difference, but in my opinion, they have to do like I've done. Which now that they see this, once they see this is what it is, they have to stop consenting to it and ignore it.
We got an echo somehow. Who's
Well,
messing with your controls?
I'm not. I've had mine without headset for a while.
Petals?
What?
I'm trying to figure out where the echo's coming from. 34, mute yourself for a second. Okay. Let's see. Petals?
Hello.
34, it might be you. You muted yourself and the echo went away.
Well, I also put my headset on.
Oh, there you go. Okay, that'll work.
That makes a difference.
That makes a big difference.
Of course it is.
Yeah, I tried to tell people for years that trying to believe in the political system and all that is a waste of time, that we have to stop consenting to the current political system, and if we're going to change it, we got to start over from fresh.
Mm-hmm.
You got to wipe the slate clean, go back to the basic Bill of Rights, and then we start over from there. That's how we get back to a limited government that does what we want it to do without encroaching on our freedoms and our liberties. If we don't do that, then we're just going to fall right back into the same trap we've always been in right from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know about the Act of 1792, 34?
1792? No.
Yeah. In 1792, the U.S. Congress passed legislation to pay back the loans to the Bank of England for the Revolution. Now, why would a new country that fought and bled to get its independence have to pay back the Bank of England for loans to fight a revolution against the very crown that the bank supposedly served?
Still under control of some form.
Well, to me, that just proves that the whole idea of it and the whole revolution was nothing more than a way to subjugate the people under their idea that, oh, well, we won our independence and now we have our own government, so now we are in control. Wrong. They were always in control. They just made you think that they weren't in control and that we won our own revolution. And all they did was just install a government that they could control us better with, where we wouldn't be getting upset at the crown and the redcoats and fighting them.
Yeah.
It was a way of placating us. And then, of course, we have the War of 1812. Well, why did we have the War of 1812? Because the loans didn't get paid, so the British came back over and burned Washington to the ground until we ran them off again. But who made the money? The Bank of England made the money off the loans. They ended up having to rebuild Washington. They had to rebuild all the stuff that the British destroyed, and who made all the money off of it? The banks. It's always all about follow the money. Wars and all that stuff are just bread and circuses for the masses, and they're making tons of money off of the loans that they make to rebuild it after it's destroyed from the war. Plus, they're making the money off the loans during the war to the countries that are having to fund those armies to fight the war. They fund both sides of every war, and they make profit off of the loans. The Act of 1871, look that one up. That was when they incorporated Washington on the Potomac and made it United States of America Incorporated in all capital letters. 1871 is also the same year that the National Rifle Association was founded, supposedly to arm former slaves to defend themselves. Well, now what do we have with the NRA? The NRA writes almost every bit of gun legislation we have. When they say that they're supposed to be fighting for our gun rights, they're in fact helping to take our gun rights away and getting us to capitulate to gun control little by little, pretending to be the protectors of our rights, while sucking up how many billions of dollars a year in memberships and product sales and everything else. Matter of fact, here's another little thing I'll show you about the NRA. Turn on my video so you can see it. There's my old card from the NRA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then when you look at the back of it, I don't know if you can read it there, but
So
it has a bunch of numbers. Has a bunch of numbers on the back, and the first one listed is membership account information. The next one is special member discounts. Then there's the endorsed insurance programs. Then the NRA Visa card that you can get. Then there's the NRA store with a free catalog you can call and get. And then the very final number that they give you, which is probably the most important if you're concerned about your gun rights, is the Institute for Legislative Action. That's the last number on that card. The most important is the last. All the other stuff, their store, insurance, member discounts, all that other stuff that they sell everybody is at the top. The best, the most important is down there at the bottom. That tells you everything you need to know about that organization.
Hmm.
It's all about the money. I'll be right back.
All
All
right.
right.
Follow the money. You usually find why things are happening. So anyway, so what are you creating nowadays? 34.
Well, what I'm creating is mental possibilities of what my future may hold.
I'm talking about, your stuff you're creating.
Oh, stuff?
Yeah, the characters and the project you've been working on.
Oh, you mean for the past few years that you think I should have started already and yet has not made a thing?
Uh-huh. It's, you didn't have to put that in there, but all right.
I'll put whatever I want to say in here.
Yeah, I know.
But it's coming along.
Uh-huh. Well, see, you explained it in the last hangout that didn't work. So you need to explain it again. So tell us what you're doing.
What are you talking about,
Essentially,
Charlie?
I'm talking about what 34 is doing. What project he was working on.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
good.
Good. Why, do you want me to ask you a question?
No.
I could ask you questions, Petals. Okay, I'll ask you questions next. Let's let 34 explain his thing.
what is there to explain? As far as my concerns go, we're trying to make something akin to Marvel and DC's
His
entire
thing.
universe.
Uh-huh.
His thing.
His thing.
We're
Are you
planning
sure?
on make. Okay, I'm talking.
Sorry.
She wants to talk. Go
You know,
for
you
it.
get to talk to about your stuff later. Anyways, the entire idea of what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be making it be an actual lively universal center instead of having us to create new heroes and not do much with them. We're going to keep adding on to their story and progressing with their lives instead. Because there is far too many instances within Marvel or DC that has new heroes that show up in one issue, and then the next issue they die to a new villain.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
So this is going to
aggravating.
be like a comics, like an online comic.
Something like that. We're planning on having it to be a animated comic,
Mm-hmm.
but currently, since we don't really have that sort of abilities yet, we're just going to hold it down to a comic.
Well, that'll work.
Hmm.
Have you written any storylines, or you've just developed characters so far?
So far, we're still developing characters and races. Petals says she would make a character, but she has yet to make any character.
Does she know the guideline?
Hey.
I think you got to work with her because she probably doesn't know all the guidelines and stuff of your world.
Well, the only guidelines we have is currently with her, just make a character.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So what race? What races are available?
Let's see.
Emily is a cat person.
Technically, that's a Nekohito.
Nekohito. Okay.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
Nekohito. A Nekohito is practically half human, half cat. A Felinius is full cat humanoid. Then we also have the Anunnaki, which is practically the lizard people. No, we do not have a middle ground for them. We also have the Vulpes, which is basically foxes people standing on two legs. And we also have the Tiabzu, which is up straight front blood people. And then we also have the Lotarian, which is the anthropomorphic raccoon race. And then we got humans, witches, Martians. Let's see, what else do we have? Why is it so difficult to find a lot of these things? We also have the elves, dwarves, orcs. Let's see, more and more and more and more. We got the Spectralis, demons, vampires, werewolves.
Mm-hmm. So she has the choice of being a cat person or a half cat, half human, since she wants to be a cat person, right?
Well, she chose half cat, half human. That's
Okay.
what she said.
And so what classes are available?
Classes? What? This isn't an RPG.
No, but I mean, you have priests, and you were talking about that before. I'm pretty sure you have.
Yeah, but that was a separate project.
Oh, that's a different project. Okay. So what kind of skill work? What else would she need to develop the character? What other information would you need from her?
Well, that revolves around actually taking a look at the race once again. Hold on a second. Because the Nekohito is practically the... What's the word I'm looking for? They're born on Earth, in comparison to their felinious parental race, which was born on the planet Amaza, I believe.
How many planets do you have?
Currently, we're just using the entire solar system plus extra.
So you're using what's already known or what's thought to be known
Mm-hmm.
and adding a few more planets of your own?
Yep.
Okay.
Why is it so difficult to find these things?
I don't know. I have to close the door. It's starting to get cold down here, so you guys talk amongst yourselves nicely.
Oh
We're
yes,
back.
of course, nicely. Like we don't speak about ourselves to begin with.
So let's have Petals. Petals is showing something. So let me present her. Okay, I'm presenting to everyone Petals, so you can explain this one if you want. I'll be right back.
What?
You're gonna explain the picture, Petals.
This was just an idea that I want to annoy 34 with. Because
Anything more than that?
I'm talking. So anyways, my brother, 34, a long time ago, I used to, well, let's say, ship him and his friend. Yeah,
What's Chinana?
that's his friend.
Ah, okay.
That's our YouTube channel. Says right there. But I still like how I did it. But also, this is a base. So yeah, you got me as a pony human thing.
I thought that was your Catwoman.
Nope, pony.
Okay. That's cool. What's with the scratches on his eye?
With
No, that's to show how annoyed I am.
Are you annoyed?
Not in particularly.
Darn it. So
Are
yeah.
you the oldest? Are you the oldest, 34?
Yes, I am.
And you're the youngest, Petals?
Yep.
That figures. Mine are the same way. I've got two boys and a girl. My daughter's the youngest. And my oldest and youngest are always at each other like you guys are.
Well, these two do a lot of hanging out and playing games together, and so they're at each other as they giggle.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not so much fighting as um, digging in,
War face.
bantering. I think
Yeah.
that would be the word. They banter more than anything else.
Yeah, my two, my oldest is always getting on to my youngest about something, and my youngest is always screaming at the oldest about something, and it's it's like constant day in and day out.
Yeah.
And they're only like 3 years and a day apart, you know.
Mhm. Yeah, my brother and I, we used to. I'm younger than him. He would protect me. He'd always protect me, but it was more like he was protecting me because he was the only one allowed to mess with me.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So I mean, we would fight, and it was a lot more mean or vicious than what these two get up to.
Yeah,
So
oh yeah.
you know, at the beach, we'd be at the beach. He'd grab my leg and start dragging me to where the water was like just over my mouth, and my mom would be standing there going like, "It builds character," as I'm drowning, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know. But I lived through it.
I
Yeah.
was lucky.
Aww.
I
It
was
is
the
such an
oldest.
adorable face.
That is so cute. Are you gonna do something with that one too?
With this face? Yes.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Lone?
Oh, I was just saying that I had it lucky. I was the oldest of three, and my brothers were 7 and 11 years younger than I was. So,
So you were the one picking on everybody else.
well, no, I raised them. I didn't. I mean, I kind of picked on them a little bit just to toughen them up, but uh, I didn't. They were more like my sons more than they were my brothers because my dad wasn't around when they were born. You know.
Mhm.
When my middle brother was born, my dad was big time alcoholic. He had a gambling problem and everything else. And I'd been an only child for the first 7 years of my life. So all of a sudden I had this little baby brother to look out for. And then when my youngest brother was born, he was actually born in Germany after we'd moved to Germany for 4 years. And he was born over there right after we got there. And it wasn't until 3 years later that my dad finally quit drinking and went through alcohol rehab and stopped. So I had another new little brother to look out for until he quit drinking. And my middle brother used to give me crap all the time because he couldn't understand why his big brother was getting to go do all this stuff, even though I was 7 years older. You know,
Mhm.
he
Yeah,
was like,
I have that slight problem with these two. She keeps asking, why does he get to do this, that, and that? And it's like, 'cause he's an adult,
But it's no fair.
and you're not yet.
it's that age thing, Petals. You got to have the age on you, then you get to do more. And you also have to understand that you're a girl, so therefore it's a little bit different than being a boy.
Yeah, you guys have different strengths and different weaknesses, so.
You may not like it, but that's unfortunately how it works, you know. My daughter gets mad the same way. She doesn't like the fact that we treat her different than her brothers, but she is a girl and she can't protect herself as well as they can.
Yeah, that's what I keep telling you. It's not about being brave, it's about being smart when you're doing stuff, when you're putting yourself in a position that might not be the best position. Or if you somehow end up in a position that's not the best position, you got to be smart about it and not brave about it.
Yeah.
One moment.
You know, I tell you these things, right, Petals?
Huh? What?
Yeah,
Huh? What?
she's so paying attention. She's got mom tuned out at one point. No, she's working on the characters.
Even
I'm
though this
watching.
is all me that I'm going to use.
Huh.
I still want chocolate though.
You have chocolate.
Yeah, but it's upstairs.
Yeah, and you have Doritos. They had a party for their last day of school.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and if she doesn't eat those Doritos, I'm going to. I haven't had Doritos in ages. Because I don't eat that stuff anymore, but it's like
No,
one of,
don't take it. No, it's my Doritos.
yeah, I freak her out. She's like, what? You're gonna eat my what?
Anyways,
I like I like
so
Pringles myself.
Pringles? Yeah.
Yeah. I've
yeah, I
always
had Mountain Dew and Doritos with me.
Yeah, I miss Doritos and Cheetos, but when I lived here, they weren't available, and you know how bad they are for you, so it kind of was a blessing that I can't get them anyway. So the only time, and then they started selling Doritos here a few years back. They even they would have the nacho cheese, and then they would have the Cool Ranch, but
yeah.
they called the Cool Ranch American.
Mhm.
It's like okay. It's like anything more American than the cheese ones. I don't know what is, so they should have switched the names on those. But
No kidding.
yeah, but you can't find the American ones anymore, the Cool Ranch ones. But they still sell the nachos. But we only usually buy them on the 4th of July. That's the only time I'll splurge for them, and because once a year they're not gonna do too much harm. I'm pretty much clean eating and raw, and no processed foods and stuff like that, so I can enjoy that once a year. But she decided she wanted it for her end of the year party. Because, it's like a celebration. They're all moving on to another school next year.
And I
And guess
didn't notice until I actually was there. It's like, oh
she
wait,
she
I
didn't
have
even open them.
when I was there, just found out that Mountain Dew and Doritos was like an MLG thing
M-
nowadays, and that was
MLG.
hilarious. MLG.
Uh-huh. My little gluten.
No, no, nothing like that. It's a G, not a B.
I didn't say G. I said gluten. My little gnome. My little
I'm
gummy
so
bear.
confused.
What does MLG stand for?
I don't know. It's the
Oh,
thing that people have made.
okay, so you don't even know. All right.
Nope. But I
Because
know that
MLP is usually My Little Pony. Usually there's acronyms for everything nowadays.
yeah, like
MLG is an
like
acronym for Major League
PPG.
Gaming.
Oh, Major League Game. Okay. Oh, see, Lone, you should have known that one.
What? No, I didn't even know that. Okay.
Hmm.
How come?
We are on computers. You can easily take 2 seconds to search it.
Yeah, no, but
I,
I'm
I
looking at
Well,
couldn't
I
Petals.
hear.
didn't quite care
I had it
enough
muted.
though.
Huh?
I
I
didn't quite
couldn't
care
hear. I
enough
had
to
it muted.
search.
Both of you are talking over each other.
Josh, I'm talking. Well, I didn't quite care to search it up right now.
Of course not.
What did you say, Lone?
I said I had it muted. My wife was in here talking to me, so I had everything muted. I couldn't hear you guys.
Oh, okay. Well, it wasn't anything important, so no worries.
No. Yeah, I know all about acronyms.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Try growing up in the military where everything's an acronym,
Mhm.
and
I
then
I
being
remember in
involved in the
RPCS.
militia with veterans where every other word out of their mouth is an acronym.
Yeah.
MOB, AIT, MOS. You know, it's all acronyms, and if you don't know the language, you get lost quick.
Yeah. I used to know it back when I did ROTC, but I haven't used it in years. I don't remember a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the acronym for drop and give me 20?
Drop and give me 20.
Mm-hmm.
There is no real acronym for that because if somebody's telling you that, it's usually your drill instructor, and
Yeah.
they just flat out
Boy,
tell
go eat
you.
dirt. Go
Yeah,
eat some dirt. Drop and give me 20.
yeah.
That'd be horrible if the entire English language turns into an acronym.
Actually, the worst one is not the push-ups. It's when they give you Casey Joneses. Because
What?
Casey Jones is where you stand. You have to stand up, lock your hands behind your head, and then you have to do high knee lifts like you're running in place. Except every time you bring your knee up, you have to bring your opposite elbow down and try to touch your knee while you're standing there bouncing up and down.
Oh,
And when
that's
they really
funny.
wanted to pick on you, they'd put you in that position and tell you to start doing Casey Joneses, and then they would have like 3 drill instructors standing all around you, and they'd take turns hollering and screaming in your ear. You weren't going fast enough. You weren't lifting your knees high enough.
Hmm.
They had one old guy out there, my basic, and they had him out there. I don't remember how long it was, but by the time they got done with him, he was soaked in sweat. The ground underneath him was wet from all of his sweat. And by the time he got done, he couldn't hardly walk.
Oh, that's horrible.
That
Mhm.
was their answer to the new rules that they couldn't touch us. They couldn't hit you or slap you or knock you around, but they could do that to you, and they loved to do it.
I wonder if anybody's died under their command doing stuff like that.
Well, probably not those guys, because when I was in basic, we were part of a testing process. We were up at Fort Lewis, Washington, up near Tacoma, and they were testing the local reserve and National Guard units because that's their job. If they ever have a draft and we go to war, those guys would be the ones training new recruits. And so they were running a cycle of us through there to see how well they could do. So we had new drill instructors every 2 weeks. We had one drill instructor who was there with us the whole time, but then all the others would change every 2 weeks, including the CO, which is our company officer, company commander, the first sergeant. All the rank and file would change. So every 2 weeks we had a whole new system to go by because every one of them was different. The first sergeants wanted the barracks kept a certain way, so all that would change, and it was a nightmare at times. I was never happier when they discovered I had a bad shoulder and said they were going to send me home. I was like, thank God.
Yeah, that happened to a friend of mine. He worked for the Smithsonian Institute, and he's done a lot of stuff. After high school, he went into the Army, and on leave one day, he was crossing the street, and some guy ran him over. So he gets discharged because his leg doesn't work anymore. And between trying to get services to help him out to get back on his feet and stuff like that, they ended up, with no money, having to mooch off the system, and they made it to where it was very hard to get out from under there. So he finally gets out from under there, works for the Smithsonian Institute for a while, does that, finds a better job, relocates back to California, gets hit by another car, to where he ended up back on, not being able to work for a while and stuff like that. And they just ended up, his wife ended up having to support them. They ended up, and they get treated a lot like they're bums. Like they don't want to, and it was like victim of circumstances, but the way the system's set up, it's not set up to help you.
Yeah,
If you start making it out of the hole, they say, "Oh, you're out of the hole. Okay, we're not going to help you anymore." But you don't have enough to really do anything, and then you kind of fall back into everything. And it was a mess. But he does a lot of the. They do a lot of the like if there's a protest going on, the Occupy Wall Street stuff, the Occupy stuff. They're a part of a lot of that because they got affected by a lot of that stuff. So they do a
yeah.
lot of that. But they haven't given up, given up. Your speaking English like goes out the window when you've lived in Europe too long, especially in a country that doesn't speak English.
Oh, yeah.
Fun stuff. Anyway,
I know how that goes.
Petals is having fun with this crying pony.
And those,
It's me. I'm doing expressions that would be good for this for some reason. So would show how I'm feeling. But I'm just dealing with it right now.
Okay.
are you just using paint petals?
Yeah,
Right now she is, yeah.
Right
it's
on.
the thing that I've always dealt with.
Yeah. Well, see, when she used to do most of all of her stuff by hand, and then when she started going on the computer, we didn't know how serious she was, so we never thought to get her a program. So she just started using Paint.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, I'm
That's
gonna
nice.
stop the
Welcome.
broadcast. So we're just gonna stop going live for the moment. So everybody say goodbye to the world.
Bye,
Bye.
world.
Hasta luego.
Hasta luego,
Auf
world.
Wiedersehen. Tschüss. Au
My
revoir.
last face. Bye.
Konnichiwa.
Hara bra.